And so to really help the poor is to ensure that you have the economy to support it. And so this claim that the PNP is the party of the poor is not supported by the empirical evidence, nor the facts. So how is it that the country is of that perception? To break the good morning, caller. Praga. Morning. Hello. Praga. Praga? No, we don't have him. So to break the cycle of exploitation and create a more equitable society, it is essential to promote dignity and empowerment among the poor. This requires a multifaceted approach that addresses the root causes of poverty and provides opportunity for economic mobility. It also requires a shift in the way politicians engage with the poor from clientism and emotional appeal. That's what it is. To meaningful policy initiatives and inclusive decision-making processes. In practical terms, Praga, are you there now? Praga? He's gone. In practical terms, this might involve access, increasing access to education and job training programs that equip the poor with the skills they need to compete in the economy. Implementing policies that promote economic growth and job creation, such as investment in infrastructure and support for small businesses. Strengthening the social safety net and support services for the most vulnerable members of the society, such as the elderly and people with disabilities. Promoting inclusive decision-making processes that involve the poor marginalized in the development of policies and programs that affect their lives. It's one thing to talk about the poor. It's one thing to have the rhetoric. It's one thing to make people believe that you are the party for the poor. It's another thing to demonstrate it in the policies. And you know, that is why I've argued that the story of the Jamaica Labour Party's success is very much undersold, you know. Very much undersold. Because I've always said that to get the message entirely, you have to look at the context. Right? You have to look at the context. We have to take a more nuanced and multifaceted approach to addressing poverty. We need to create a society that is more equitable, that promotes dignity and empowerment. Right? And when we continue to treat people like this by simply using them as assets towards our personal objectives, then I don't think that helps them at all. We have to open the eyes of our people to understand that they are being used. All right. Winston, are you there? I'm getting a message here. Winston, are you there? Is that Winston?
Yes, Neighbour. Good morning to you, sir.
How was your weekend?
I'm good and great.
Yeah. What's on your mind?
Well, you know, Neighbour, as I sit here and as I listen to you, the question is, Neighbour, We have been back and forth with all of these issues since independent. And the question is, can government really do more? Because all these things, neighbor, that you speak of concerning the poor, Mr. Siaga have a famous statement. It takes cash to care. If we do not have the means, neighbor, as a country, economically, to provide for the poor, how are we going to deliver? We cannot go around and borrow money, and when we borrow those money, we just want to take it and use it to provide social program for the poor. First and foremost, neighbor, we have to develop our economy in such a way.
When I speak of the narrative, the nuanced narrative of the Jamaica Labour Party, that's what I'm speaking about. What I'm saying, Winston, is that the people of Jamaica need to understand that what we call trickle-down economics, you see, what we call trickle-down economics is where wealth created at the top gets down to the man at the bottom through various means. It doesn't get there quickly. It's not getting there quickly enough. However, if you don't develop the macro economy, if you don't invest in infrastructure, Winston, if your macro economy is not developed and your economy is not growing, you cannot have prosperity, Winston.
Yes, neighbor, absolutely.
It cannot happen. The politics, Winston, needs to change. It is creating a false narrative to the people, and the people have bought it for too long, Winston.
Yes, neighbor.
We have to tell the people the truth. Road can yam. You have to build it. If you don't build the road, Winston, you're not going to be able to move goods and service across the country, so that we can have productivity and production.
Yes, yes.
Did you know, Winston, that it can take you 45 minutes in Jamaica to get a patty?
Yeah, man, more than that.
Yeah?
More than that.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you are going to be shipping flour from Kingston to Mandeville, and you don't have the road network to get it there efficiently and on time, Winston, when the man going around the bad road, the tire bust, he might go put it on the cost of the flour.
Yes. You know, neighbor, what you just said is so important. Many a times you're going to some small rural communities, and young people will be on their lunchtime, and you join the line to get a patty and a cocoa bread and a juice. And if you don't mind sharp, you spend the whole entire lunchtime hour in the line just to get served. So what you are saying, neighbor, is absolutely correct.
So the poor man, sir, that wants water in his pipe. Yes, he wants water in his pipe. I understand that. Okay? And he deserves to have water in his pipe. How you going to get it there? You think so you can just run a pipe from the sea to him house?
No.
You know the investment that it takes to do the research, to dig the well, to put in the infrastructure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to get him the water.
And to treat that water and to treat that water every day, so it is
to employ the people to do it.
Yeah.
But the man don't business with that. All he knows is more water.
Yeah.
Okay? But politicians are not going to tell them all of that. Right?
No, neighbor. And you know, neighbor, and I hear you speak to it. I think it was yesterday evening and the program. It is a blessing in disguise when the Jamaica Labour Party were able to win this third term. Because what, neighbor, over the years, we have been here before in a neighbor. We have been here before, and the people were fooled and tricked into believing that where the country is, that they should be benefiting more. And the people gravitate to that form of argument and vote.
You remember in 2011, Winston, when the people of Jamaica voted against the Labour Party, they said Holness promised bitter medicine. You remember, sir?
Yes, neighbor.
You remember that Dr. Phillips came in and had to administer the bitter medicine?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes. I remember.
To the same people who rejected the truth.
The truth, yeah.
Had to suck up the bitter medicine.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying to you, sir?
Yes.
The people of Jamaica must understand, sir, that what the Holness administration would have done over the last 9 years is to lay the wicket. Lay the wicket. So that now certain things at the micro level can start happening. All right?
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying to you?
Yes, neighbor.
Like improving internet connectivity. Very important.
Yes. Yes.
Addressing the whole matter of electricity.
Yes.
Efficiency. You remember when electricity in Jamaica, sir, every minute it gone?
Yeah, I remember those days, neighbor.
Addressing the matters like efficient water supply.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and as I said earlier, the whole road infrastructure in the country, developing the infrastructure, sir, right? So that goods and service can move across the island efficiently. Those things are important to an economy, Winston, right? The
Yes,
poor
neighbor.
is not going to be helped through borrowing money. You borrow and you invest in social programs, the country still owe it, because how you pay it back, you still going to have to raise
you
taxes.
pay it back, yeah. So if you're going to borrow, neighbor, you have to put it in a capital development.
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
So that capital development that you invest in can earn over time to pay back the loan and also get a little something from it to assist with the poor.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know how we are going to reach this place, Winston, where the masses of the people begin to understand these issues, sir. How we reach there?
You see, neighbor, let me tell you something. I am for democracy, yes, but the two-party states system is a drag on the people's mind, because when one party is in opposition, there is no moral template in the society, so that upper party in opposition will lie to the people to confuse the people thinking.
So it's all about getting power.
Yes, neighbor, it's all about getting power. It's not about a holistic development for the country and its people. It's about my party and the girls and the boy who is close to the party will benefit. You understand,
Yes.
neighbor? That's the problem.
Yeah. So why there's no unity for progress? It's always going to be divisive.
All right, neighbor. When you even look on crime, there is no collective consensus from the opposition on crime. Whatever the government try to mitigate against crime is always a negative pushback from the opposition. So it's like now you're sending a message to the criminal that, hey, it's better if I choose the PNP, because the PNP attack on my behalf.
Yeah.
You understand? So the criminal, and remember, no, neighbor, we have a society where a large percent of it believe in crime and criminality.
Yeah.
You understand? So all when they do not have a collective consensus on crime and harder, you know, people will vote for the opposition because the opposition is saying to you, hey, if you choose me, you can do just about anything you so desire.
Yeah.
And another thing again, neighbor, as I listened to you and Casey last night, and I want to tell you that I really respect and appreciate the work of Casey.
Yes.
But one thing that I think Casey missed out on last night to tell you is this. It is the first time, neighbor, since independence, 63 years now, it is the first time that a government go into a general election and the people now have to think about the government overrun the budget to gain victory.
Yes.
When you drive the length and breadth of this country, neighbor, you never seen a wild government spending taking place. And you wonder, how is it that the government is going to fund this? When you go to the parish council office, you know, see a long line, longer than embassy line. You understand? It is the first time this has ever happened. The government never used state fund, neighbor, to influence the election. And that's why the reason why you see some candidate did not triumphant, neighbor. Because even when you think about East Portland, neighbor, the vote of East Portland used to this type of politics. Whenever time there's a general election in the country, and you go to Port Antonio Parish Council, neighbor, the line longer than people trying to get into the national stadium and go watch football.
What the line up for?
To collect a check from the parish council. And when you drive out the whole length and breadth of Portland, they don't see any work that been done. Those were the days, neighbor. So when they come now to a consequential election like September 3rd, and they do not see these things happening, it causes a lot of turn off. Because that's what they used to. So if people don't really understand the underbelly of the politics, neighbor, we will hear and talk and talk and talk and talk. So the Prime Minister, neighbor, is trying his best to build a new culture. He's trying to bring in a new paradigm. You know, Jamaica is being governed and all the people should hold the government or the member of parliament accountable.
Is that so?
Yes, and I would love for Casey to look into the finding in this line.
Well, we haven't started the work. Well, we barely at the beginning of it. We're gonna have to talk to our listeners later on about how we're gonna fund that. But so it will be interesting to add that to it, too.
All right. I remember when the Prime Minister was touring Eastern St. James, Mr. Omar Davis constituency. And I remember up with the Prime Minister till 1 o'clock at night on his campaign, right? And you will see the condition of the roads in that constituency. If the PMP was in power, neighbor, you would see, as they see the campaign trail go through that constituency, you would see workmen there, flagwoman, flagman, barber green truck, doing all different type of things left, right, and center. Because they wanted to influence the people that, hey, the government is doing something. And then now they would have to figure it out now, maybe come December with a supplementary budget, or they're going to finance it.
Yes. Yeah. You heard my comments on what's happening over there in Southern St. James, Winston.
Yes, neighbor, I was listening last night.
Yes. What do you think about the approach that Miss Birchall is taken?
You know, when I listened to the clipping that you were playing, first and foremost, I hear arrogance. I hear immaturity. Miss Birchall do not understand the nature of politics.
Yes.
Because the very same people who carry you today on their shoulder in
Say that again.
politics, the very same people today who carry you on their shoulder and hail you as a star,
Yes.
tomorrow will block you in your SUV and decide that you can't come out. Right? So therefore, Miss Birchall, yes, she is the elected member of parliament.
Why she needs to be saying it? Isn't it clear? When a man has to be saying that, you don't need to tell people that you're a man, Winston. Everybody knows see?
Yeah.
If you have to be
telling
people you're a man.
And you know the funny thing about it, neighbor? When Mr. Omar Davis was the member of parliament, he was very accommodating to Miss Birchall, you know.
Really?
He was very nice, respectful, and accommodating to Miss Birchall. So I don't understand how all of a sudden this lady is being elected. No, this level of arrogance is coming from her.
Is she basically running the man out of the constituency?
Yeah, Mr. Omar Davis never talked to her in that manner, treat her in that manner.
Commending book for him to go read about change.
Yeah, all of those things, you know.
Winston, am I not correct that if Miss Birchall is going to succeed as a member of parliament, she would need the support of the government?
Yes, neighbor, most definitely. You know, neighbor, the type of politics that we practice in Jamaica, you know. First and foremost, she have to develop on the right attitude with the right personality where she can get along with the various ministers.
Yes.
Right? So, like for instance, if you want water, she'd have to develop a relationship with Mr. Macho Samuda.
Yes.
In such a way that Mr. Macho Samuda can find how best
to
he
help
can
her.
put in a 1 or 2 water project in a ministry for your sister. That's how the politics operate in the neighbor.
They not hit me. I say from yesterday, people I don't want to say it out, you know, Winston. I don't want to say it out because I know that, you know, it's really ought not to be like this. But the truth of the matter, Winston, is that sometimes it's who you know.
It's who you know. It's who you know.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I think that Mr. Homer Davis would be able to help her.
Yeah. But you know, she will learn and realize in a very short order that there is no place for arrogance in politics.
Yes, that's true. And when she speaks of auditing constituency development fund, Mr. Homer Davis don't manage the constituency development fund, Winston.
And that's another level of ignorance again, neighbor. Because she do not have the authority to audit that fund. Because the consolidated fund is structured and monitored by
the constituency development fund.
Yes, sir. It is structured in a way from the parliament level.
Not the MP don't manage.
It have an oversight body from the parliament.
Yes. That approves the projects.
That approves the projects. And the money cannot just spend willy-nilly so without you provide paper trail.
Yeah. So when she says she's going to audit the constituency development fund, what is she saying?
I don't know, neighbor. I just don't know.
Eh?
You know, neighbor. All right. What many of these members of parliament do not know. The last meeting I went to with Mr. Vaz is showing that, listen, he's spending between $15 to $18 million each year for back to school. I've done this one project, you know.
Just for back to school support.
Just for back to school. But but he's only getting $5 million from the constituency development fund to go towards back to school. So the balance of that money, he must to sometimes have to put some from his pocket and some from donors.
Right.
Right? So you have to have even linkages, neighbor, as a member of parliament with the private sector.
Absolutely.
You understand? You have to know how to navigate through your constituency, write letters, develop relationship, working relationship with private sectors to fund, because there are some of the things that government just don't fund.
Don't fund, sir.
You understand? When they say all a member of parliament putting on all a corner league program, we
That
can run you millions of dollars. You think the constituent development fund that?
Right. Yeah. And the few sheet of zinc and the chicken and all of them something there.
All of these things, neighbor, you know, sometimes in a neighbor, you know that sometimes it really hurt me to see how shallow the Jamaican people think, neighbor. The very same people who carry them prescription, them back to school list, them visa application form, every single thing to the constituency office seeking assistance is the very same people who sit down every day and criticize member of parliament salary. So the question I want to ask, neighbor, where the money should come from to provide you with all of these benefits? Remember, I know that Mr. Leslie Campbell, he was a member of parliament for the constituency that currents I have now. Have to walk away from politics because him say the money that it costing him to operate in a constituency wasn't adequate for his pay. His pay wasn't adequate to carry out the function.
Yeah. And then he's going to be seen as ineffective and probably lose the seat.
Definitely. And he walked away. The man was even showing it, making a comparison when he was going to the constituency, 2 and 4, the constituency. Just the cost that it cost him to pay the toll from Kingston to get back into the constituency. So everything is a cost. And then now when and these people is behaving in a manner, you know, a while ago in a neighbor, I was just listening to Mark Golding presenting the shadow cabinet. And when he named the member, his argument is, well, this is the members of a shadow cabinet. That will not cost the taxpayer any extra.
I heard that and I wonder why was there a need for
any extra fund? Imagine. Come on. So everybody knows saying a Jamaica neighbor that the shadow cabinet is no extra cost to the budget.
I don't know why he said that.
Neighbor, can a country operate without a government, without cabinet?
A shadow cabinet?
No, not shadow cabinet. Can the country operate without the government name ministers to the various ministries?
Well, the permanent secretaries can run the ministries. Okay, the ministers are the ones that, you know,
deal with policies, right? Deal with policies, right? But to all the PMPs operating now, neighbor, it is like it is the first time a party ever win an election and put a cabinet together, and so now this is an extra burden on the backs of the people. This is how the argument is out in social media, neighbor.
When he says the shadow cabinet will not cost the government any money, what is he saying?
I don't know, neighbor. I don't know.
Well,
I don't know. And you know the funny thing about it, neighbor, let me tell you something, neighbor. As much as though I am a supporter of the Jamaica Labour Party, I am also an independent thinker. I don't want my prime minister or my member of parliament come talk no rubbish and expect me I was supporting foolish issue and talking. Me not listen to my prime minister and my member of parliament neighbor talk no rubbish when they make no sense and expect me to go out there go sell that foolishness. Me not repeat it. But the thing will happen, neighbor, any foolishness that come out of the PMP mouth, the PMP supporters, they have it on social media.
Yeah.
It is very distasteful,
I
neighbor.
understand that the shadow cabinet is 36 members of a shadow cabinet, Winston. 36. Hello?
36.
Maybe that's why he's saying he's not going to cost any money.
That means that he create some ministry there, neighbor.
Well, I wonder if I see them. Let me see if I can find them here. Defense and Constitutional Affairs, Finance and Public Service, Productivity, Efficiency and Competitiveness, Agriculture, Fisheries and Food Security, Trade, Industry and Global Logistics. Well, he has some deputies too. I know it's a long list. It's a long list, Winston. But shadow cabinet members have never been paid in Jamaica, so I don't know. I don't understand that.
Never.
The opposition leader is suggesting that it will not cost the taxpayers anything to have a shadow cabinet.
You know, another point I wanted to make is this, in a neighbor. When you calculate up the salaries of councillors,
yes,
and mayors in this country, it's running this country over $1.6 billion per year.
Oh,
many a time, neighbor, that's a salaries, for councillors and mayors. You do not see the work for this amount of money, right? But at the end of the financial year, you can see what the government achieved, what the government is doing. The media is not attacking councillors and mayors' salary. Which doubled the cabinet salaries. Double it, And that's the talking point now. This government is the most successful government since we start to self-govern ourselves. And you are behaving in a manner like the salaries that they are getting, that they don't deserve of it.
Wow. Yes, and you know, Winston, when you put the politics in the way you put it in terms of the demands on the MPs, I'm sure that a lot of them use their salaries to do it.
Of course, neighbor, you have to. Neighbor, you have to.
Yeah. And you know also, Winston, when you think of some of them could make a lot more in terms of private practices and their life, business.
Neighbor, let me make a comparison since I had touched that point. When you look at Mr. Harbin Hill, a Minister of Investment, Industry and Commerce, Senator Harbin Hill. What was Senator Harbin Hill's previous job before he entered politics?
Well, he was the top man at NCB.
He was the managing director of NCB.
I'm sure that
he was making over $1 million per year for his salary. More than $1 million per year for his salary, with all the perks in the world.
Yes, never. You could
understand
right now.
With the brilliance of this man, are you telling me that Mr. Harbin Hill, now which is a government minister, don't deserve $22 million a year? You are telling me that a Favor Williams, with her previous job before she come into politics, no finance minister, not deserving what she's making at the finance ministry?
We have to get real with issues in Jamaica.
We have to get real, neighbor.
Real. And I hope the Prime Minister is taking his salary, Winston. Do you know if he is now taking his salary?
We don't know, neighbor. I don't know. I believe the Prime Minister is deserving of his salary wholeheartedly. Neighbor, you know, I tell you this.
But then we talk of corruption, Winston. We talk of corruption. How are we going to ensure? Because you know, Winston, if you are paying the proper salary, that is when you become very, very hard in terms of when you find a man with his hand in the cookie jar. Not true?
Neighbor, again, me I tell you, neighbor, you see the type of politics that we practice in Jamaica, it have a hard to cut out corruption. And let me tell you why I say so, neighbor. The cost and the member of parliament to run effective and efficient constituency.
By the way, before you go on, am I correct that the MP gets a little budget to pay the secretary in the office?
Yes, neighbor, personal secretary.
Right. And I think they get some upkeep for the office.
Yes, neighbor.
But Winston, if I was an MP, I suspect that I would need about 4 offices in my constituency. One office could answer one constituency, Winston.
It all depends on the size, because here in West Portland, we have what? We have 3.
3 offices that the member parliament visits.
Yeah, you have the main office in Buff Bay. I have 2 mini offices, one in Oak Bay and one in St. Margaret's Bay. 2 mini offices, yes.
Yeah. Well, you know, Winston, we need strong and serious conversations about how we are running our country, Winston. And people need to understand what really happens and what the role of a member of parliament is and what do they do and how it costs them.
You know, the other day I listened to Miss Audrey Marks in the Neighbour, and she's putting out her, I think it was a 30-point plan for the constituency. And when she speak of education and the thing that she want to do for education, to link nutrition with education, etc., 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 and to have the farmers them now to provide the food to feed the children, because she realized that the children are not being properly fed.
Yes.
I know that if she is going to be able to make this effective, neighbor, this will come from her personal purse.
Yes.
I know. This will come from her personal purse.
Plus
the water tank that she was giving out in the before the election. All of those tanks is from her personal purse.
Right.
So sometimes when these people, neighbor, go into politics and are serving, to be really effective, neighbor, they have to spend them personal money. I can tell you that my member of parliament spend millions of his personal money.
That's Darrell Vaz.
Yeah, that's Darrell Vaz. The amount of thing that man done over the years for West Portland and give to West Portland, it's worth a gone more than $100 million.
That cannot come out of government resources.
No, neighbor, not at all. Not at all. Not at all.
No. Wow. Yeah. So it really depends on the individual member of parliament's capacity.
Yes, neighbor. And I know that right now, neighbor, it is a worrying sign in West Portland when Darrell Vaz announced that he do not have much more time.
You mean the people are wondering how they're going to replace him?
Yes, most definitely.
Wow.
Remember, neighbor, Mr. Darrell Vaz, when it come to back to school, you know, it is not just PMP, you know. It is not just JLP people who go to his office to get back to school assistant, you know. He's not that type of member of parliament only look out for JLP people alone. Right? And so therefore, if a PMP supporters brave enough to go to the constituency office and ask for any assistance, and from once the resources available, that person will get assisted.
Yes, he goes across the political divide.
Yes, neighbor. If you want to get that man get out of character, you tell him say John Brown a PMP. Him don't want to hear that.
He's not busy with that.
No, you can't bring that to him, neighbor. He see people as people.
Vaz?
Yes. And the next thing about him, neighbor, if he give you a commitment, you can carry to the bank. If
Yes.
you ask him for something and he give you a commitment, you can go bank it like a check.
Go happen.
And now bunks.
It's going to happen.
It's gonna happen, neighbor. Maybe it take a little time, but it's going to happen.
Oh my goodness. Well, that's great to hear.
So you see, neighbor, many of us, we are very unkind. We are setting the stethoscope in this country that we're gonna only get lumped to serve our parliament. We are ending up get more of Isaac Buchanan in our parliament.
You don't respect him. You don't think that he should be there?
No, neighbor, he shouldn't. Neighbor, it's a dangerous precedent we are setting in a neighbor for our democracy.
876-858-9553. That's the number to text to request the Cash App or Zelle account to make a contribution to the program. Support Politics Plus, being on the air and staying on the air. 876-858-9553. Please remember, we are on at 11 to 1 o'clock, Monday to Friday. Do you have a small business and you want us to promote it for you? Well, 876-858-9553. 876-858-9553. Anywhere in the world you are, welcome and thank you for supporting us. Support Politics Plus so that Hello Neighbor can continue to be on twice per day, 11 to 1, and of course 7 to 9. Of course, we always have a live goal on the screen. You can contribute to that also, and we always encourage you to tap the screen and share the live. Come on. I don't know how your pocket is on this Monday. Good afternoon to you wherever in the world you are. It's 5 minutes to 1 o'clock. Tyrone Taylor on your Monday.